So as we've been exploring all month long, Advent is a season of holy anticipation. It's not just simply about waiting for something to happen out there in the world. Advent is about awakening to what is already happening within us. And as you've heard through the various parts of this service today, we are focusing on joy. Not joy as a fleeting happiness that shows up every now and then, not joy that depends upon circumstances being just right, but joy as a spiritual quality. It's actually one of our 12 powers, that zeal, that joy for life, an eternal state, that state of being that arises through our connection with the divine. Arises anytime we remember that we're not separate, but a part of this unfolding spiritual evolution. When the angels proclaimed, "I bring you good news of great joy for all the people," this was not a promise of temporary relief, although people certainly hoped for that. It was a declaration of a spiritual birth, an awakening of the Christ consciousness within humanity, an opportunity to know, not just for one individual, but for a broad part of humanity, that they were so much more. This joy, again, was not arriving from the outside. This joy was being revealed from the inside out. Our second unity principle teaches that we are created in the image and likeness of God, not the other way around. God doesn't look like us. We are created in the image, and if that image of God that we hold is love, is the very energy of love itself. It's not a person. It is the fabric that is woven through all of creation. We're actually made, this is how I like to think of it, we have God DNA. That's the very building blocks of who we are. So that means that joy is not something that we have to earn or chase. It's something that we remember and claim. The joy of Advent is the joy of recognition, the recognition that we're never separate from this source, the recognition that divine life is right now, whether we are totally aware of it or not, expressing through us, expressing as us in this very present moment. So Advent and discovering this joy is about saying, wow, can I pay attention to, can I discover, can I feel that God joy that we're told is expressing through us right here and now. Jesus also said to the people that he was trying to help understand this concept that was so radically different from anything that they'd ever heard in their life, that the kingdom of heaven is within you. You keep searching for it over there and everywhere up there, but it's actually within you. And if the kingdom is within, then joy, one of its chief expressions, is also within as well. It has to be. Where else would it be? So joy becomes more about the natural byproduct of alignment. When our thoughts, when our beliefs, when our awareness, and ultimately our experience align with this truth as we understand it, then joy just naturally arises. It's effortless. It is like its own fountain that can never run out. We just need to unblock it. This is why joy can exist even in the midst of uncertainty. It's not the denial of the challenges going on. It's a grounding into something deeper than the challenge. It's an awareness and it's expansion of our perspective beyond just this narrow focus of what's in front of us in this moment. As we've been talking about this month metaphysically, the Christmas story is not only a historical story, it's not only even a mythical story, it's an instructional story for each of us. When we can understand that Mary, the players in this all represent different aspects of ourselves, Mary represents the receptive consciousness, the openness to something different showing up. And Joseph is all about faith and willingness, even though there may not be understanding accompanying that. And the manger is that place where we have a humble mind, where the ego and fear are set aside for a period of time, and we can simply make room in our consciousness for this joy and all of the Christ qualities to be born within us. Most of us expect that joy will come after everything gets resolved. Woohoo! That when things are finally, not so challenging anymore. Whatever that might be, after a healing happens, after relationships improve, after clarity arrives, after, you have a mold-free house, then finally, joy will be welcome. But Advent reminds us that joy is born before the conditions change. That's the way creation works. We have to be in that alignment with, in that experience of what we are seeking to create before it outpictures into the physical realm. So therefore, joy becomes a spiritual practice. It's not going to happen by default. The human part of us is not going to just go, isn't this great that, all of this is happening? But we can do some things that allow us to more consciously bring it into our experience. It is about a choice to trust that God is at work even when appearances suggest otherwise. When we clear fear and resentment and old narratives out of our minds, we create, again, this manger, this space where we can allow those Christ qualities to rise up. The Christmas story reminds us that angels did not appear to kings or to scholars. They appeared to shepherds, ordinary people living close to the earth. And this, I think, is metaphysically significant if we're trying to understand how it shows up, how this story outpictures from each of us. Because joy doesn't require spiritual sophistication. It doesn't require that we've got the theology of it, if you will, all figured out. Joy simply requires our presence, being fully present to it. When this was happening during that night where Jesus was born, the shepherds were awake. I'm guessing that the kings and the scholars were probably snoozing contently, unaware of anything happening. They were paying attention. They were listening. That was the work that they did in order to do their work in keeping everybody safe. It happened in the middle of the night when everything was absolute quiet. So stillness becomes a doorway to joy. When we slow down, when we breathe, when we bring ourselves into this present moment, joy naturally emerges. Not because something new has arrived, but because we stop blocking what was already there. So that's our opportunity this morning as we move into our meditation time, that time where we bring our attention inward, is to allow a few moments of stillness to open the doorway just a little bit more to the joy that is there ready to emerge. So we start by focusing our attention on the breath, because the breath can only happen in the present moment. There are no breaths of the past, no breaths of the future. There is only this moment where the breath is important. You might want to close your eyes or just soften your gaze on some point in the room so that you can bring your attention fully inward, fully awake and aware of the breath as it flows into your body and then is naturally and gently released. If there are thoughts about things that have happened before this time in this place, or about what might happen later in the day or the days to come, just simply set them aside for a moment, knowing you can pick them up at any time. Allow the thoughts to just float by without engaging them. And then see if you can bring your attention now to your heart space, that place in the center of your physical chest that is our connection with the divine, with God, with the Christ. It is in this place where we can know our oneness, that we can tap into the joy of the kingdom alive within each of us. And we can activate that joy simply with focusing for a few minutes on gratitude. Gratitude is the energy closest to that feeling of joy, appreciation for all the good that is present. And so into this center of your heart, into this chamber where love is the ruling energy, bring to mind someone, something, someplace, whether they're physically on this planet or in the spiritual realm. Just bring them into your heart space as you express your deep gratitude and appreciation for their part, for their love, for their support, or even as a catalyst for your growth. And as you continue to just allow this gratitude and appreciation to grow, it begins to bubble up like a fountain of joy. That fountain of joy spilling out to every part of your physical body. Intermingling with the joy in this room, this energy of love and gratitude and appreciation for all of life expands out to the rest of this building, so that that natural joy of our children just bubble up in this moment. And it continues to expand until it enfolds our community. It is exchanged between the ethers of those who are joining us online and those here in this physical space. And we send that joy, that peace, that goodwill towards all humanity out into our world. And we make a commitment in this moment to practice joy in these upcoming days, never knowing how one smile, one kind gesture, one thoughtful gift can change and bless the people in the world around you. And if there's anything that's calling to be released, that is turning down the volume of that fountain of joy, all you need to do is be willing to lay it at the altar of the Christ presence within you. And you are once again born as a new light, as a new opportunity to be that light and that love in our world. And as you take another deep breath in, feel that energy of joy, yours, the collective energy of joy, bringing a new infusion into your thoughts, into the possibilities, and into the eternal truth that despite whatever appearances there may be, this joy can never be extinguished because it is the very essence of life itself. And as you begin to bring your attention back to this time and to this space, bring that energy of joy back into this moment. Let it be what informs your hearing and your thinking and your feeling for the rest of this day. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. So there's a couple ways that I want to invite you to practice this Advent joy as you go throughout all of the activities of this week. The first is to know just like love and just like hope and faith, it is a decision, not a mood, not a feeling that you have to wait to experience until something interacts with you that causes it. It is simply a choice. So I want to invite you each day, and I'm giving you one to use, but you can use your own. Make up your own. I align my thoughts with divine joy. I allow joy to express through me today. So every morning, in some form or fashion of words that feels right for you, to say, I align myself with thoughts of joy, and I allow this joy to express through me today. It's a good way to start your day. And then, in order to really fully experience this, we also have to pay attention to what might be blocking or obscuring our joy and releasing that. It's an infilling, it's a letting go, it's a breathing in, it's a breathing out. It all works that way. Because joy is not able to thrive very well in a mind cluttered with judgment, with fear, with worry, with upset. So Advent is also really about releasing. As we complete this Advent cycle, in fact, that's what we're going to be doing next Sunday, is Gigi Johnson and Denise Teague are going to be here to to allow you to have that full experience of releasing what no longer serves you and then welcoming in that which is seeking to be born and expressed through you. So it's really about looking at how can I release judgment, or oftentimes it's more internal than external, self-criticism. Release the belief that joy has to be postponed until this happens or that happens. And finally, I would encourage you to express joy through service and gratitude, because those help facilitate that flow in a much more abundant way. It multiplies when we share it with people. Gratitude is that practice that can open our hearts when we forget how much good there is in our lives. And service is really about joy in action. We want to bring it out and have a visceral experience of how that shows up when we show up in joy. Jesus said that these things I have spoken to you so that my joy may be in you and your joy may be made full. And joy becomes full, it becomes complete when it flows through us, not when we try to hold on to it or to manipulate it. So we have to be willing to just be in that flow. It'll show up in big waves, and then it might die for a little bit, and then we open back up again. So as we move through this season, I just encourage all of you to remember that joy is your nature. It's our nature. Joy is a choice. And we can stop at any moment and make a new choice if we need to. And joy is ultimately our gift to the world. And like the angels, may our lives proclaim, glory to God in the highest, and on earth, peace, goodwill towards all. Because when joy is born within us, it blesses everything it touches. And so this morning, what better lighthearted way to celebrate this joy that's flowing through us? What better way than a song from a Charlie Brown Christmas featuring Bob Snook and Nick Bell. Well, it is our opportunity now to share of our financial good with this community. In just a moment, the ushers are going to invite you to come up row by row. You can place whatever gift you're sharing today in the large basket and then receive an affirmation to bless you this week from the smaller basket. And, we like to experience that flow. There's something about the physicalness of experience that helps deepen it. So even if you share electronically, or this is not your Sunday to share, if you can, come and be in the flow. You can simply just add your energy to the basket by placing your hand over it, or we've got some little cards that you can place in there, and then, of course, receive your affirmation. And we're very grateful for the abundance that is flowing in and through this community, and appreciate each and every one of you in the way that you share with us. We also wanted to offer a little gift to you. There's some out on the welcome table on the way in. There's also a few in the bookstore, and that's the Unity annual calendar that they put out. I don't know how many people still use physical paper I do both, so this helps me see it in a bigger picture sometimes, but they're free for you, so we'd love for you to just pick one up on your way out today and allow it to bless you. It's got a lot of beautiful pictures of Unity Village in the calendar, so it's a wonderful way to remind yourself of what our roots are in this unity movement. So let us take what we offer today into our hands, into our hearts, into that flow of joy in our beings, and join and bless it together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, Father, Mother God. Okay.
All right, let's stand up together and do our peace song. On earth and let begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant
And as we go into this day, into this week, filled with the joy of living, we go knowing our prayer for protection. We'll do it as call and response. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Together, wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All right. Oh.